Students, today we are going to learn the last lesson of your Unit 1 1.6, The Alchemy of Nature, written by Raksha Baradia. This is an inspiring article in which the narrator describes her close experience with the different features of nature and the wonderful lesson in the life that she has learned from it. The Alchemy of Nature. The lesson, The Alchemy of Nature, speaks about the power of everyday element of the nature to help us transform our lives by giving us the most valuable lessons of life. Besides giving pleasure, nature has lessons for life, and it is up to us to what we learn from it and how we implemented these lessons. If we do learn and implement these lessons, we experience the alchemy of nature. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour, by William Blake. William Blake has taken this particular quote from his poem Auguries of Innocence, where he says, "Something as tiny as a grain of sand can give an idea or imagination of a huge significance to the world. One can witness and experience the beauty of heaven in something as small as wild flower and derive joy forever. But only one should have eyes and time to see it. Infinity is endless space, but your small palm can hold the destiny of the earth through your efforts. Eternity is endless time, but just an hour in your life can make a difference to the world forever." Ultimately, he says, great deeds can surpass the limits of time and space. They never die. Let's come to the lesson now. Alchemy of Nature. We instinctively turn to outdoor activities and nature as a way of relaxing and enhancing our well being. That means it is our inborn quality to go to the nature by way of relaxing and enriching our well being, our oneself. Nature soothes and nurtures. It gives you comfort and it takes care of you. Nature fulfills and motivates. It fulfills all your needs and motivates you to direct something, to guide something, and to do something. Nature whispers and commands. It tells you many things. It orders you many things, but only you should have ears to hear and eyes to see the beauty of the nature. Are you listening? This is a rhetorical question where the poet is asking, where the writer is asking to the reader the direct question, whether are they listening? What when we listen? That means when I listen what nature commands, what nature whispers, it leaves me in complete awe. Awe means wonder, great amazement. The first element of the nature here the writer has described for us is the hibiscus. We have a hibiscus plant in our garden. Every fortnight, every 14 days, the flower blooms, it flowers, big, bright, and tender. Throughout the day, it smiles and dances with the sun and the wind. But as the evening approaches, it starts wilting, withering, dying, or drooping. The morning after, it withers completely, and by evening, it falls and becomes one with the earth again. The flower comes to life only for a day, yet it does in full splendor. What if we too lived our lives short but to the fullest? The hibiscus plant gives us the message that our life, however short, but it should be lived to the fullest. We went to a rocky beach and saw a spread of the majestic ocean and the rock alongside, carved, sculpted, and shaped by the water. Water is so gentle. So another element here from the nature, the writer says, we went to a rocky beach and saw the spread of the majestic, beautiful ocean and the rocks alongside, and the rocks were carved and sculpted by the water. In the nature, water is so gentle and the rock is so hard. Yet, as the water flows over it every day for years, the rock gives in meaning allows. Therefore, the rock changes its form by the gentle element that is water. It takes the shape that the water commands. Our problems are so colossal, our problems are so huge, so massive, and we are so small. Yet, if we persist means if we continue to overcome our problems may never be a problem. Therefore, most of our problems are our own mind's creation. We saw a small bits of grasses coming out, peeping through the small cracks of a concrete pavement. It left us thinking, however impossible things may look, there is always an opening. Therefore, if there is a problem, there is also a solution. So, the small bits of grasses peeping through the small cracks in a concrete pavement teaches us that the problems may look very, very huge for us now, very, very massive for us now, but there is always a solution, there is always an opening. We should be positive in the life with regards to our problems. We saw a tree bare of all leaves in a cold winter month, and we thought its chapter was over. That means the tree was dead and gone. But 3 months passed, spring came in or entered into, and the tree was back to its green majesty once again, beauty, majesty once again, full of leaves, flowers, birds, and life. What if we too had the conviction, strong belief in oneself, believing in self? What if we too had the conviction that however difficult things are right now, it will not remain so forever? Remember, this too shall pass. That means the bad days of our life or difficult times of our life are never permanent, they all are transient. Therefore, it is said that tough time never lasts, but tough people do last. So remember, this too shall pass. We saw an army of ants lugging a fly which was at least 10 times the ant's size. The ants organized themselves around the fly, lifted it on frail feelers, and carried it to a quite a distance. Their teamwork and perseverance were quite impressive, quite praiseworthy. What if we too are consistent, organized, focused? We can also achieve anything in life like the army of ants. The ants are giving us the message that the teamwork, the perseverance, the quality of being organized, the quality of being consistent, the quality of being focused can lead us to the goal of our life. And therefore, we learn from the ants these very much qualities which are very, very essential for our life. Spider webs are delicate, very, very weak, yet they are very, very strong. A rainbow colors the entire sky, which gives us the message that cheerfulness and acceptance in the life will give a new direction to our life. Oysters take in a grain of sand and they open up with a pearl. There is a mysterious power and magic in the nature that can change things drastically, dramatically. Innumerable stars shine across the infinite sky. Clouds take new shape with every passing moment. The wind makes tree dance with the unhindered passion. Water without the hint of ego changes its form according to the dictates of the sun and the wind. And when we see a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, a flower turning into a fruit, we experience the alchemy or the mysterious power of nature. And if we touch it, we become gold ourselves. We become very strong person in the life by being inspired by the very beautiful gift of God, that is nature. Therefore, we should have eyes to see, we should have time to experience, we should have ears to hear the command, the whispers of the nature.